everybody, let's get to it. So I wanted to do a part 2 for the polyvagal theory, and basically what it is that you have any stuck emotions, you have some kind of resentment, some emotional stuff that happened and you never really got to it. Your body usually makes it up as some kind of pain or some kind of illness later on in the body, right? So as I started learning about this, I was very, very interested because it has to do with the brain. So it's like I've been meditating and I've been seeing some stuff, And in the beginning, when I started seeing things, there was a lot of triangles, just a lot of triangles. And it was like a black space and a bunch of like just triangles, like white triangles, and they were all going like parallel and up and down and everywhere, and whatever. So this would only happen when I was in my parasympathetic response mode, and that's usually, to be honest, I'm going to be really blunt with you guys, that's only when I'm high as fuck. It's the only time I'm really high as fuck. And around that time I started taking advantage of it, like, okay, I'm high as fuck, and this is the only time that my body's relaxing and letting me be normal. What can I do to start helping it? So I started doing a little bit more research, right? And basically, when homeostasis is what they call it, that's when the body's on in balance, right? Nothing's inflamed, nothing's out of pain, everything is good, everything's working. You go into the restroom, you're eating, everything's digesting, you feel good, you have energy, you slept right, you feel on top of the world, you're fucking winning, and fucking haters everywhere, right? You're ready to come back like a bad bitch. You're in homeostasis, and you're able to just be normal, have a good day, and for a lot of us that are injured, we just long for that. We just want a good day, we just want a day without no pain, so I started looking more into it. And the sympathetic mode is the fight or flight mode. Everybody knows that this is the one that you wake up and you feel like you gotta run, you gotta go, you're about to die, right? It releases cortisol, it steals blood from other parts of the body to start making adrenaline to get you ready to get to safety, right? Simple stuff. It damages the person's ability to calm down after it's been triggered. People with PTSD, people with major depression, people with trauma, people that have been raped, people that have been, just with any kind of trauma, any kind of fucked up shit that's happened to them. When your body shifts into fight or flight mode, it's automatic. You don't even know that you're in fight or flight mode until you start noticing the signs. There is signs. Pay attention to the signs. This is when knowing your body comes, when we don't know how to take care of our bodies, we don't know shit. We don't know what we're supposed to feed each organ to help it out, what's going to help it like cleanse it out and help take out all those metals in there. We don't know how to do shit like that. All we know is how to feed it and how to sleep at certain times and do some exercise and get some sun, and that's fucking about it, right? Use the restroom and shower, and that's it. There's more to it. There's more to it than just like massages, more than lymphatic drainages. There's so much more beneath that. So I started learning more about the brain, and I started really getting into understanding the chemistry of the brain, right? And I wanted to learn, okay, so if I'm going berserk and I'm like going into my fight or flight mode, and it has to do with an emotion that's stuck, where the fuck does the emotion come from? And well, trip out, it's it's not basically, and I don't know, it's a chemical reaction that happens right in the brain, and usually it consists of glutamate, ne- norepinephrine, and dopamine, right? Some of those fucking words. And basically, when you start feeling an emotion, you start building up a chemical in the brain. When you start building up that chemical in the brain, depending what you're, thinking, is what you start making. You start producing. Excuse me. So now, if you think about it, if your neurochemicals are out of balance, right? You're feeling like shit. You want to kill yourself. You don't want to eat. You don't want nobody to touch you. You don't feel safe. You want to leave, and everything is just annoying. We're in fight or flight mode, right? And usually it's because our serotonin levels are out of balance. And this happens to us a lot. A lot of us that are just used to working, that are just used to being on the go. A lot of moms, a lot of parents, parents in total, of kids and pets, because pets are just like children. They're just like children. And it gets to the point that we don't know what to do. What the fuck are serotonin levels? What the hell the fuck do I know if I have a chemical imbalance in the fucking brain? I can't look in the brain. And guess fuck, I know I get it and I don't get it, right? So if we are always on the go and we sleep but we feel like we're up, right? We sleep 5-6 hours and we feel like we're up. That's all we need, but our body needs more, because throughout the day you're moving and moving and moving, right? Now think about it. Your body, what are you feeding it? What are those foods nourishing in your body? And now if you start to learn about your body, you start seeing that whatever you are eating is not really nourishing a lot of organs in the body, a lot of different things that need your attention in the body, right? And I was like, fuck, how can we do it to balance out a chemical imbalance in the brain if a lot of us don't even have health care? A lot of us don't have the money. A lot of us, have our hands tied at home. We really can't leave home. And I went hours, months and months studying stuff. And it's just come to the point that I don't want to be relying on drugs to help me balance my body. And I've been very big with this since I got sick last year, so I am learning everything I could to show you guys, that everything that we have going on really is just psychological. Yeah, we get PTSD. Yes, we have traumas. Yes, we go into fight mode automatically. But we are stronger than that. We are able to come back into homeostasis with just sitting down and breathing. Just nourish your body right and do the right breathings, and you will see that you can just go back into homeostasis with just breathing. And then obviously you have to nourish the body. How are you going to nourish it? Start learning about your body. Start learning about what's hurting, what's feeling up. Start stretching. Where does it feel stuck? Why does it feel stuck? As I started learning more about, the polyvagal theory and neurobiology and how everything works with the parasympathetic and the sympathetic responses, and all that, I started getting really into somatic. I started getting into somatic vibrations, right? Because I've been having these vibrations that are just on and off, and in the beginning I didn't understand it, so I had to learn. Like something was telling me you had to learn, and it was like the loudest inner thought I had. And it was weird because I knew I was thinking it, but I knew that it wasn't me. But I knew that I was going to think it and it was going to come to me and it was something I had to do. It's just weird, right? So I started learning about it and I became a big fan of it because as I was learning about the body in the beginning, I learned that the body, we have vibrations. It's been proven. There's a bunch of proof. Go to YouTube. And basically, somatic is the work of the ancient. So if you think back in Egyptian times, they didn't have any fucking tools to build their shit. Where the fuck did they get the tools to build their shit, right? And a lot of it back then was vibrations and frequencies. So I was thinking, in that time, they weren't able to use tools, but they were able to use their fucking minds and use vibrations. How did they do it, right? And basically, if you really, really sit down and do the research and, get to this place, they have done everything possible to make sure that the human body is not a holy temple. And it's so much more than just that. But if you really think about it, you guys, we're putting components in our body that are not being able to be digested by our human digestive system. Okay, we're putting in foods that are not foods. We're putting in shit in our body that's not nourishing anything in our bodies. We're putting medication in our bodies to give it a band-aid so the body can shut up. Because it's in pain. That's what we're doing. Instead of getting to the root cause. So I didn't want to be in pain. I started learning a little bit more about the somatic vibrations. And basically, there's energy in our cells, every single one of our cells, right? So each frequency influences something in the body, a different part of the body, depending what the hertz is. And the hertz is basically it refers to the number of the vibrations or cycles per sound. And usually 432 is one of the most known hertz. This one, it vibrates on the principle of the golden mean 5 times. It unifies the properties of space, time, gravity, nature, magnetism, with biology, DNA, and consciousness. It's a lot. Everything in the universe counts with this. And it takes you all the way back. And if you start learning about in the ancient times back there, a lot of people didn't have a lot of toxins in their body. They would eat really clean. A lot of them were in shape. They had flat bellies. They were not obese and fat with cellulite like all of us over here. So what changed? And it's our eating habits. We don't have a lot of the herbs, a lot of the plants, any of the spices that they used back there. And they do have one. They're very limited and they're very, expensive. But some of them are out there, and I wanted to point something out a little bit. And let's see. So when dopamine levels in several parts of the peripheral nervous system and blood vessels inhibit the neuroepinephrine, which is the motivation, the focus, the chemical, the excitement, the chemistry, and the acts of, to relax and stuff. when those come in, the kidneys start working. You start being able to feed. The GI starts protecting the intestinal mucosa. It starts helping repair, because it gets a break from all that work. And the immune system, it reduces lymphocytes, and who cares? This is mental health. But if you think about it, lymphocytes have been found, and it could be misplaced for autoimmune. They found out to have lower lymphocytes, it's important because when your lymphocytes are able to go down, you're able to go to homeostasis. If your lymphocytes are up, you're high, your dopamines are up, and you're overworking your body. So it's kind of good to have the lymphocytes go down. Excess of dopamine causes unnecessary movements, psychosis, hypersexuality, nausea, all the bad stuff, all the bad shit, and a lot of people take anti-nausea agents, and there's something in there that helps them. It helps kind of lower down the dopamine. At the end of the day, it could be too that it can just drown your dopamine depending what you're taking. And when you're lacking in dopamine, you have loss of motivation, you have restlessness, you are bipolar as fuck. You're in fight or flight mode all the time, and you're angry at the world. Right? So I hope you guys learned something, because this one was a big one. And this is not like a diagnosis for anybody. Don't go try to say like, oh, she told me to stop using medication and just use my brain. And to a point you should get there, but it doesn't mean you will be there now. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take baby steps to try to help your body. Really quick too, I wanted to throw out there that when you have dopamine imbalances, you will feel depressed. You will have symptoms of ADHD, OCD, sleep deprivation, cognitive control. You'll have racing thoughts. You'll want to kill yourself. You don't want to kill yourself. You'll get very emotional. You're all over the place. Your memory sucks. Your mood sucks. You don't want to work. You have impulse control. And I'm like, okay, well, where can this be found? How do you know when you're out of balance and basically you become dehydrated, right? This thing kind of just starts off in the kidneys, and it's in the brain. So if you're kind of feeling a little bit off in your kidneys, your kidney count is a little bit off, you start looking into how you can help the kidney, how to replenish it, how to nourish it, how to help it. Don't run up to the doctor and try and don't bandage it. Love your body. Get to know your body. If you know your body, you'll be able to balance yourself. And if you balance yourself, you'll be able to heal yourself. And if you heal yourself, we can heal the world together. Because you're going to want to heal the next person. So make it loud and make me proud, you guys. Make sure you all drink your waters. Make sure you all drink your waters. I should have done this in the beginning, but I was so excited. And I wanted to do this before I forgot because I'm science fuck. But I am going to sleep for the next